Sadnam, hello.
Hi.
Hi, who is it?
Sadnam. Rupi here.
Oh, Rupi. Hi, Rupi.
Hi.
Anybody else?
Siri Simran.
Hi, Siri Simran. How are you?
I'm okay. Having a hard time healing this neck thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, really.
Are you seeing people who can help you?
Yes, supposedly.
Okay. We'll send our heart breath along. Okay, everybody?
Thank you.
I'm assuming that means yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're doing it now. And who else is here?
Uttam Jot. Satnam.
Say your name again, please, dear.
Uttam Jot.
Oh, Uttam Jot.
How are you?
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Tell me again where you're from.
I'm in New York on Long Island.
Oh, where in Long Island?
Lindenhurst?
Lindenhurst?
Correct.
Oh, good. I lived in a few places on Long Island one way long time ago. And who else is here?
Sadnam.
Oh, hi, Sadnam. How are you?
Good.
Huh?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Gurpreet?
Good. And Gurpreet, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, Siri Gian?
Good. I didn't get a chance to check. Did you share on Facebook yet?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. I'll have to go look for it. Everybody, our Facebook page is facebook.com/groups, GROUPS /Soul Answer, SOULANSWER. And these days you should be getting wonderful videos of Amandeep. Okay, I just have to do this. I just have to say this. Tuesday, Amandeep is going to start teaching his 5-webinar course about avatars. And I never heard this information before. I never heard it. I don't know what he's going to teach, but I'll tell you what he's shared in the, in the videos is extraordinary. There are 14 stages in liberation. How can I say? 14 stages in the liberation of an avatar. And guess what? He doesn't have to go through all those stages if he just wants to do it for himself. But an avatar, he adds a few stages so that he can help us, he or she. Isn't that amazing? I want to get to know these people better. Beings. I'm going to call them beings. Oh, so I'm going to tell you the page. It's soulanswer.com/avatars. That's AVTAARS.html. Okay, really worth it. Okay, who else is here?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hey.
Hey, girl, what's up?
We've got rain, and we're in Dallas, and that's awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. We've got a lot of rain, too.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. Okay, who else is here? Anybody? Anybody else? 5, 6. Okay. Plus the angels who do not speak. Oh, here's one. Satnam, who just came on.
Rahmani.
Rahmani, we've been missing you. How are you?
Good, thank you. I was on a long road trip.
You were on a long trip?
Road trip, yeah. I went to visit Bob and my granddaughter and some other people that I I drove from Santa Fe to Seattle to Portland to Sonoma County and back to Santa Fe, moving like a turtle, slowly.
Well, God bless you, dear. I'm so happy for you. I'd like to hear about the trip sometime.
Thank you.
Yeah. And who else is here?
Aloha.
Ah, Ranbir is here. Welcome, dear.
Thank you.
Are you in L.A.? No, San Diego?
No, I'm in LA. I'm in the southern part of LA. There's a peninsula called Palos Verdes. That's where I'm at.
Oh, Palos Verdes is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. It takes me about 2 hours to walk to the nearest bus stop around here. It's beautiful. God. It's a lot of country, a lot of horses.
Oh, lovely.
It is.
Straight across from Catalina Island, huh?
Yeah, I can see it from my walks all the time. From the patio, I can see all the way to Orange County and the water, but from the Catalinas on the other side of the hill.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, very blessed. It's kind of like a little healing space for me.
Great. So now, who else is here? Okay, well, let's get started. Okay, so everybody sit straight. Begin long, deep breathing. Palms are together at the center of the chest. Long, deep breathing. From the belly, through the nose. Don't hold your breath. Just slow breathing. Breath is so important. Baba Siri Chand, he's telling us, breath is incredible. Breath, he says, is the vehicle, and he also calls it the mudra of the prana. The prana is your life force. Be very aware of that. And then, of course, we are also going to be tuning in, actually calling on, uniting with the golden chain of teachers, and also with your own infinity. Woo! It's a lot. Be very conscious of that. Keep up the breath. And inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Agare Name, Jagagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudev Name, Agare Name, Jagagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudev Name, Agare Name, Jagagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudev Name. Long deep breathing. That's it. Long deep breathing. As Yogi Bhajan always said, vibrate the cosmos. Babaji says do that on the instrument of your own breath. Vibrate the cosmos. Good. Feel that. Feel that energy. Feel that flowing through you, all the way through your body. and especially at your third eye. Good. And now please begin heart breath. That is, continue long, deep breathing. And on the exhale, feel as though the air is coming out of your heart center. Really feel that? Let your heart open. That is actually healing energy. And now please send your heart breath, your healing energy, to your own intention. That's it. Keep up, please. Good. Now please join with each other's healing energy, giving and accepting at the same time. And this applies to everybody who's on the call now and also to anybody who is listening to the recording in the future. No time or space between us. Good. And now please send your beautiful healing energy to all the leaders of your country, whether it's U.S. or whatever country you are in or from, to all the leaders with the intention that the power be directed for the support and the heart of the people. Good. And now please send your most vibrant and powerful heart breath to the Middle East. They certainly need it. Please add to your prayers that the walls of anger and not listening will dissolve, and that heart will begin to preside. And include the Ukraine, please. Send light. He calls it the forever light. And he says, please ask the patriarch Abraham, the forefather of both sides, the Israelis and the Pakistanis, the forefather of both, to see about his children, to bring them peace. And that's when real prosperity comes. And inhale, and exhale, and breathe. Okay, now there's this little popping sound. I'm just going to mute the class, and then maybe the little popping sound will disappear. Oh, it's not there anymore. Good. So if you need to unmute yourself, you just press *6, okay? Okay, sir, what do you have to say today? He says, I have to talk to you about wars. He says, wars bring everybody down. He says, I'm not just talking about these obvious wars in which weapons that blow up people and things and so on explode all over the place. He said, I'm not just talking about that. He says, I'm talking about the very heart and mind of the people. He says, so it starts with ourselves, the hearts and minds. Are we at war? Okay. Are we, so I'm asking, sir, what do you mean, are we at war? I live in this very peaceful neighborhood and so on. He says, is your mind at war? Are the feelings, the experiences of your body at war? He says, are you calling somebody nasty right now? Are you getting upset with the actions of other people? Are you calling other people they and them and not including them in your own experience of culture or family or friends? He says, yes, I understand the situation of deeply divided. I understand the situation of wanting to keep separate that which you feel that would hurt you, that is dangerous, that would explode your mind, your heart, your finances. He says, I do understand that. He says, but what I'm talking about is that when you come across these people, in your mind, in your experience, he says, do you separate yourselves or do you say, this is a member of my human family? Am I seeing God in them? Am I seeing God even in the worst perpetrators of crime and debauchery? Do you understand that you are all humans, that you are all God? He says, no matter what you do with one another. He says, no matter what your judgments are, he says, underlying it all, you are of the same. He says, you are brethren. The Bible talks a lot about brethren. In other words, brothers, brotherhood, meaning families, brothers and sisters. He says, you are that with all humanity. Even with these people who are perpetrators of these wars, he says, you are brethren, you are brothers, you are brothers and sisters. He says, now, he says, open up to that. Use your breath. He says, I'm not telling you to go over there and get caught in the war. I'm not telling you to do that. He said, but in your mind, in your heart, understand that we are one humanity, that we are the one God, that we are of the one source. Keep up the breath. Let that sink in. We are of the one source. Even those who irritate us on a daily level, that may be our boss, maybe it's our teenage child. He says maybe it's the laws of your own state made by the other political party. He says when you move into these areas, understand first, connect from the heart, connect from the soul. That is the heart and the soul of the oneness. He says this oneness was always called the Father. He said, in fact, we all are essence of the Father and the Mother, the source. He says, you may call us all offspring. He said, but in fact, we carry the roots of Mother, Father. We carry the mayhem of Mother, Father. We carry the love essence, the union of Mother, Father. Keep up the heart breath, please. You are one in spirit. You are one in love. I'm not talking about being mamby-pamby, he says. No, Guru Gobind Singh was not mamby-pamby. Do you understand? He lived this consciousness. He knew this consciousness. He knew the oneness. He was also not attached to the human form, to the limitation of the human form. He said, but he did lead an army. He said, in search of righteousness, in defense of oneness. In other words, he did participate in war. He led people in war, in defense of the oneness. He said, but he kept the tail, the cognizance, the experience of the unity under it all. He says he went far beyond what you might call the Hatfields and McCoys in this country. And for those who don't know, those are very famous warring families in West Virginia in the last century or so. Keep up the breath. Keep up the breath. And when you keep up the breath, he says, allow unity. He says that doesn't mean that you have to engulf everybody in this big hug that limits them in their craziness. He says, no, there's a karmic progression. He says, neutrally watch what you would call their craziness. He says, be aware of what's going on, but don't judge in a way that says, those are out, these are in. Do you understand? He said, that is what cuts people off. That is what hurts the knowledge of who you are. If you keep yourself bound up in this little bundle and say, this is who I am the one, and I can't relate to all those others who don't know that they're the one, he says, what an oxymoron that is. He says it is self-contradictory. Do you see? If you really believe that you are the one, if you believe that concept, you know that everyone, everything is included in the one. It takes extreme humility to regard that, to be aware of that, to know that, to live that into practice, that we all are the one. No matter how scared we get of one another, He says, drop your vengeance. He says, drop what does not serve you and live in the truth. He says, if you need to right a wrong, then please do it to the extent that is possible. He says, you be with us. You forgive deeply, not in your mind, because your mind is going to keep up with, well, he did that and she did that. No, we're going far beyond that. We're skipping that part of the tale. Do you understand? We're skipping that part. And we are going deeper, deeper to the realization that all actions, all situations, all come from the infinite, and nothing is skipped. We participate in all. He said it's your humble realization that we all participate in the one. That means that we all participate in what you would call the blackness. We all participate in what we would call the light. We are all one. We are all the expression of what you call the God. The G for generating, O for organizing, D for destroying. Keep up the breath. That's it. Keep up the breath. Go deeply now, and in a meditative state, please forgive yourself for any concept, any thought that you were separate. Understand at the deepest degree we are one, and now we are in the practice of allowing that realization to occur, to become known, rather than expressed as separateness. Continue to allow it, that knowledge, that realization, that practice to become real in your life. It doesn't mean rolling over and going with the darkness. Doesn't mean that. It means staying with the full knowledge, grounded in the full knowledge of oneness. He says, you've done this before. Let's do it again. To send all of your energy right down into the center of Mother Earth. He says she is a real consciousness. She is your mother. He says she is the creatrix of all creation. As she says herself, she takes the energy from the Father Essence, or the overall undifferentiated, pure energy consciousness. She takes that energy and weaves it into creation. And it is, she says it's one sweater. She says it's one sweater, dears, so get over it. She says there are sleeves, there are backs, there are collars, there are buttons, there are buttonholes. She says, but there is only one creation. She says, come down and see me. Okay, so send your energy right down into her. And feel the oneness and yet the diversity of her creation. We are of that creation. Breathe, please. Open up your heart. Open up your mind. Open up all of your energy to understand how we all move, how we all freely move through all of creation without fear, without separation. She says that is the first step. Once you open up and move freely, she says that is the only way that the truth, the true energy, the true knowledge can flow through you and can move out powerfully along this net or web of creation in order to tickle the hearts of those who feel that they are separate, that they are doomed, or that they must doom others. She says, this is your practice of peace. She says, are you a warrior of peace? Or are you a warrior of war? You choose. She says, I'm not threatening damnation. No. Mm-mm. She says, but I am giving you a way to not, she calls it, to not bollocks yourself. In other words, to not tie yourself up in knots, to not keep yourself separate, she says, which hurts, which denies the truth of union, which retards peace. Do you understand? She said, so we've switched to Mother now. She said, if you keep up this nonsense that you are all separate, she says, you will continue to fight what is true. She says, you know the expression, a house divided cannot stand. She said, this is it. She says, you will be fighting, if you stay in separation, you will be fighting the nuance, the birth, the nations, she calls it, of the Aquarian age. And that energy is too big to fight, my fellow being, she says. My sweet being, it's too big to fight. The only thing you will be left with is the fight. She says, if you don't do this, she says, my pure students of light, if you don't do this, she says, who will? You are to be the advance guard. You are to be the green berets of this warrior of truth, this warrior of being, this warrior of knowledge, of love, and understanding that all is the one. Even if it fights itself, even if it tries to kill itself, kill others, what they call others, even if. She says, how can that aspect come up to bloom? How can that aspect of warring, of fighting, of hurting, of cutting off to protect myself when you are hurting their self? She says, how can the real bloom of peace occur? She says, do you cut up your brain in little pieces and allocate geographical areas? This part belongs to my family that I love. This part belongs to that part of the family that I don't love. This part belongs to the warring world. This part belongs to the peaceful world. She says, nope. She says, if you truly want to advance along the pathway of truth, you come from the very real premise, we're going to call it. She says from the real source point. She says the Native Americans called it the Sipapu, the place, the source from which all creation comes. If you do not allow yourself to come from that well of truth, she says you avoid the truth. You avoid the love. You avoid the peace, the true peace within. No matter how dire it is on the outside, even if invading armies come, understand that at the heart, at the truth, at the Sipapu, that there is only oneness. There is only oneness. Then the diversity happens. In the diversity, there is much diversity that says, it must be my way. If you are happy, I cannot be happy. If the world is playing tricks on me, I will fight the world. In other words, non-acceptance of the karma of the world and non-acceptance of this holy task of growing in consciousness, growing in realization, growing in the very real experience of oneness. Now, there are many people who feel that they are on a spiritual path, and they feel that their task is to jump out of this expression of the world. They feel that that is where their only happiness comes. She says you may do that to an extent, but there comes a time when there is nothing else to do but to realize there is nothing else but the one. She says the converse of that is that there is nothing to hide from. There is nothing to escape from. There is nothing to be beholden to. There is nothing to control. There is only the one. Pure acceptance of the one on every level. That means the oneness on this, what you might call the earth plane level. That when the separations are dropped, one more easily slides into the totality of the one being. Yogi Bhajan always said, if you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. You remember that? She said there is nothing that is more true than that. Nothing that is more true. If you see the other person as you, then you understand that the other person is carrying those difficulties, those feelings, those knowledge, those worries that you have, but also being involved in them at a greater degree. But they're still yours. It is a human condition. Do you understand? It is simply a matter of degree and a matter of focus. That is where the pure humility comes in, the pure compassion, the pure understanding, the true worthiness. He says, or she says, please do heart breath now. Please do heart breath. She says, and please direct your heart breath in the direction of those incidents, those people, those, quote, groups, perhaps the other political party, that you feel are so unworthy, that are fighting you. Please do that. She says, unless you do that, neither of you can surrender. Neither of you can surrender to the beauty of the truth. What you say, do, and hear in your consciousness is all important, is all important to your consciousness. Again, as Yogi Bhajan said, you are not a human being looking for a spiritual experience. You are a spirit living the human experience. And you are at a point on your pathway that you are beginning to see. See from what Amakaram calls Google Earth, which means seeing the whole situation rather than just our myopic view. Keep up the breath, please. Please do the heart breath and open up. Relax out of your myopic view, out of the separation, to see the whole. Feel the whole. That is where the truth is. That is where the source is. That is where you know you. You know all. And all, as you know, all is one. Oh my God. Feel that realization. Please feel it. Please know it. Keep up your heart breath. That's it. Keep up your heart breath. Good. Good. And now it sounds as though people are being popped off the line and rejoining. What a day. Feel the oneness. So now, who can share? Who can share?
I can share, Harinder.
Yes, Harinder.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, I have an echo.
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
No.
Okay, and then I'll continue. I wanted to share something. This lesson is so appropriate to the conflict in Israel, and I wanted to share something from the lesson of Kabbalah that Dr. Littman is leading. He's a Kabbalah teacher, and these days with this conflict between the Palestinians and Israel, they are attacking him. And with questions of what is, what does he think about all these things and what is the cause? And he very bravely and very beautifully, he said, you have to love this enemy that you think it's enemy. You have to send light. You have to embrace it, send peace. And they were like livid. They were like, excuse me, I have a rocket in my living room. I should send love to someone. And he said, yes. If you don't do that, the rocket will continue. And he created these circles in Israel. He calls them the round tables. Throughout Israel, people would gather and they would just send light, open the tunnels for light, for peace and love to the Palestinians. And it was so beautiful to see that. They were throughout the there were pockets of places in Israel that he's doing that, and people just gathering, neighborhoods and women and children, and doing these circles that he calls the round table, which is a symbol of infinite. And then, our media really doesn't report of what's going on, but they were marching, the Muslims, the Palestinians, and the Israelis in the street saying, "Stop this war." It was very beautiful to see it, that he's teaching them how Abraham, which is, they are our brothers and sisters. They are really from one tribe, and he's teaching them that it is absolutely beautiful to see that they are now receptive, even though in the beginning they were looking for revenge and they were very anxious, and war is war. But they are very open now, and they're creating these circles, and hopefully this will stop. And my mission is I just sit and do a heart breath to them, to everyone, and mostly to the people who are in power that are causing all these things and making decisions on the behalf of humanity.
How beautiful, dear. I am so grateful. This is the news that I've been longing for. I am so grateful. We are joining this movement, okay? We are just totally joining this movement.
Thank you. I do.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is good. My heart hurts less now.
Yes.
What a blessing.
Yes, a blessing to this magnificent teacher, Dr. Rabbi Littman, who's very brave of saying just to their faces, yes, you love them, you send them light, and you love the whole world, and you send light to the whole world, and everything would stop.
How precious. And we also send our heart breath to him in
Yes.
order to send him more energy to continue this wonderful work.
Yes, tirelessly. I mean, this man, if you only can, I have this internet, and I just 24 hours I watch all day long. He reminded me of Yogi Bhajan. He goes in, he says the same thing. He comes out, he says the same thing. He says the same thing over and over and over and over. He does. It's beautiful to see it, how he teaches the same thing. He says the same thing over and over until he says, one day I'm going to walk in and you guys are going to do it. It's going to click in and it's going to be fine. That reminds me of Yogi Bhajan teaching. He used to say, I say the same thing every day, and you go out and you do the same thing.
Exactly. Let's all make a vow to not do that same thing again, but to raise consciousness.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, dear. We really appreciate that, and we join with our brothers and sisters in this situation with heart breath, with love, with kindness. Thank you.
Yes, hopefully this is the last conflict that we have.
Oh, God bless. Yes, that's our prayer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was big. Now, who else can share? And by the way, please press *6 in order to be heard. Who else can share? And if pressing *6 once didn't work, press it again. It toggles back and forth. Who else can share? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the mute off the whole class. Oh, darn. Oh, good. Everybody's unmuted. Okay. So who else can share their experience?
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ranbir?
Yes. Good morning. It's kind of interesting. This all started, believe it or not, for me. I had an opening regarding this information on 9/11.
Yeah?
Witnessing what was going on, I kept feeling I had already had some experience about oneness, but this kind of like invited me to forgive myself and forgive my consciousness. And what I got as we started to do the practice today, it so happens that I've been doing some lymphatic cleansing through Kundalini Yoga. And it was kind of put into a parallel that the consciousness that is moving through the wars here and there and through the atrocities and the genocides are like the lymphatic system to our consciousness as one.
How interesting.
Because we piled up individually as human beings, each of us, every cell of this consciousness piles up this toxicity of self-loathing, of anger, of frustration, of all these things. And then there's different pockets in the world where this just needs to get out. And in the same way that we, at the same time that we're trying to clean this toxicity and emergencies in our body, is our consciousness on a daily basis. It comes back to the basic that we all know, is that we need to clean our own consciousness if we want the world to change. If there is no others, and that's another thing that I've been blessed to been taught by so many besides Yogi Bhajan, that we're one, never to call them, it's us, and so just changing that language. People point out, you're too sticky about language. So it was very clear. It's the lymphatic system of our consciousness that's trying to clear out, and we can take some emergency measures and send heart breath. But when you direct us, I always see that Google Earth entire planet thing and send energy to the entire planet, because I know that it's all of us who need this breath to become more aware. And I totally understand about. I've called my struggles, and Baba Siri Chand knows this, my civil war. It's like my fighting with myself is my civil war, and we all know there are no winners in the civil war. There are no winners in any war, but my inner war I call the civil war, which is anything but civil.
True.
And so it's kind of like a purification. It's like, we're very blessed to have skin and to have orifices that help us release that impurity. But if we see that it's out of control, we need to change our mental, emotional, spiritual diet. It's not the Middle East is simply a reflection or an expression of the consciousness of the whole planet. Period. There's just no other way about it for me to feel it or see it or sense it. Is until I find it is like until I vibrate it differently, I can't ask for anyone or anything on this planet to be different.
That's right. And there's no guilt involved.
No, there's no guilt. No.
It's our journey. It's our path.
I tell you what, on my Facebook page, you might have seen in English and Spanish. I make sure to post it. When all this started breaking loose, I'm not participating in, of course, never taking sides or publicizing much. All I did is invite others to join me if they wanted. I've been doing silences. Every 2 or 3 days, I go in pure silence and trying to really allow to be purified of anger and resistance and all that may be participant in that war, and taking consciousness and responsibility for myself as an offering to what's going on with the planet and the human experience. That's the only thing I know that I can do consciously.
That's right. In ancient religions, they always talked about sacrifice. But the real sacrifice is not animals or things. It's just what you talked about. It's a sacrifice of our own small.
Well, yeah. It's not even a sacrifice because, like in the Course in Miracles, it says you're giving up something that's not real, so it's not really a sacrifice. It's a purification. It's a willingness to make sacred my life so that all life can be sacred. And I feel it in my core, but not with any anger. I don't know if you can sense that. I feel it in my core, but not with anger. And I know it's my responsibility to clear my struggles, my anger. I mean, that started on 9/11. It has been nonstop when it comes to responsibility. I used to be very politically active, got thrown out of many places for marching for peace and apartheid, to end apartheid. But it just shifted something, and I felt we did this. We need to wake up to this. And but I felt it very clearly. It's like something has been brewing with all of the consciousness, and it has no place to really purify itself. And this pockets of war are I don't know, armpits and anuses and whatever the lymphatic system uses to get the stuff out. To get the stuff out is just very stinky, very uncomfortable, and too much blood.
Good. Okay, we're on it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ranbir. Blessings.
And interesting about, if I may add, the idea of being a warrior for peace, because that came through some time ago, and we know the name that I have is connected to a powerful kind of warrior energy, and I had to be with it, pulled away from it, come back to it to really understand, to stand valiantly, clearly, powerfully. I mean, I had the mental concept, but now having the experience is different. Becomes
That's right.
Of just really standing. You know, I've shared the experiences of going into my peace in the middle of chaos and seeing everything shift. I see it constantly happening. Does it get very difficult? Sometimes it gets absolutely impossible, it seems like. And so that's when I pray for that. Instead of doing it myself, I ask for Baba and Guru Ram Dass and the Holy Spirit and everybody else that wants to help me to find that peace. Because I can't.
Bless you, dear. And it works, right?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. I think that's part of the thing, too, is that we're getting out of that mentality of the Piscean age of individuality and understanding on a day-to-day basis, the Aquarian age of connectivity. By asking for help is one of those things.
Right, and that's true freedom.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Well, thank you, dear.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Okay, who else can share?
I think I can, Siri Gian. This is Suzanne. Can you hear me?
Yes, I was going to call on you.
Oh, good. Just as Ramdir was talking about another way of seeing a cleansing, I was thinking that the children, that thousands of children that have left Syria, the ones that are leaving Guatemala and Central America, that's a very physical shift. That I wondered if that just is going to shift all kinds of boundaries that will be so different because those countries are losing their generation. And so what does that mean? Where will they be? And is that a way for the universe to bring a boundary shift that's beyond us and it becomes a new thing because, by gosh, they're in a whole different place now. So even the children are being asked to do, in my imagination, being asked to do or be a part of the shift.
That's true. That's true. Well, you know, this happened with the Irish during their famine. You know, their families would send young children to this country, sometimes without anybody to receive them.
That's
it
true.
Does happen.
Yeah. It makes us more aware of these other countries.
Yeah, God bless the children. Well, thank you all. Thank you all. And let's all stay these warriors of truth. And like Randir said, the warrior is one who is deeply seated in, we're going to call it Mother Earth, Mother Planet. She called it the Sipapu. In other words, that's where the strength comes from, the source, the knowing, the total availability and ability to stand in your truth, in your love, in your kindness, and in your appropriateness. When, you know, that means not getting bowled over or going along with what somebody says that really is not helpful. Just because you don't want to make a fight, there are ways to send the truth in with loving, with that kind heart breath energy. So God bless you all. Love you all. We had the pleasure of having both Baba Siri Chand and Mother Planet today. So we are grateful to them and grateful that all of you showed up too. So please sit straight, resting in your third eye and sharing this beautiful energy with one another. Please sing to one another and receive to one another. Inhale. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Inhale. Sat Nam. And be bathed in your own infinity, your own oneness, the purity of all. God bless you all, and we'll talk to you again next week. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam.
Thank you.
Um,